The flag wasn't just fabric, it was a soldier's soul stitched into cloth. And Karen Miller, self-appointed queen of Willow Creek's HOA, ripped it down like it was trash. In the heart of a sleepy Ohio suburb, where picket fences gleamed and lawns bowed to her clipboard, Sergeant Marcus Tate dared to fly a Black Lives Matter flag outside his modest home. He'd earned that right 2 tours in Afghanistan, a Purple Heart, and a limp that whispered of sacrifice. But to Karen, that flag was a middle finger to her pristine neighborhood, a stain on her vision of community standards. What followed wasn't just a dispute. It was a war that tore Willow Creek apart and set the nation ablaze. Marcus had moved to Willow Creek seeking peace. After years dodging bullets and IEDs, he craved quiet place to heal, to raise his daughter, Aisha, and to honor his late brother, killed by police during a traffic stop. The BLM flag wasn't a protest. It was a promise to Aisha that her uncle's death wouldn't be forgotten. He hung it proudly on his porch, its bold black letters fluttering against the red brick facade. Neighbors nodded in approval. Some even clapped when they passed. But Karen Miller, with her peroxide blonde bob and a smile sharp as a switchblade, saw rebellion. To her, Marcus wasn't a hero. He was a threat. It started with a letter. "Dear Mr. Tate," it read, in Karen's looping cursive. "The HOA prohibits non-approved flags per Section 3.2 of the bylaws. Remove the unauthorized display by 5 p.m. Friday or face fines." Marcus laughed when he read it, assuming it was a joke. He'd fought for freedom, not for Karen's rulebook. But when Friday came and the flag still waved, Karen arrived with a pair of gardening shears and a smirk. She didn't knock. She didn't ask. She climbed his porch, snipped the flag down, and tossed it into a trash bag like it was yard waste. Aisha, watching from the window, screamed. Marcus, limping out, froze. His voice was low, deadly calm. "You touch my flag again, and we've got a problem." The problem wasn't just Karen. It was what she unleashed. Word spread like wildfire. Willow Creek's HOA had banned a black soldier's flag. A neighbor's Ring camera caught the whole thing. Karen's triumphant snip, Aisha's sobs, Marcus's clenched fists. By morning, the video was viral. X lit up with hashtags. "Justice for Marcus, Karen strikes again." Protesters flooded Willow Creek, their signs reading, "Honor the soldier, not the Karen," and "Flags don't discriminate." News vans parked on every corner. Marcus, who wanted none of this, became a reluctant symbol. Karen, meanwhile, doubled down. She called a press conference, standing before her manicured lawn, and declared, "This isn't about race. It's about rules." The crowd booed. Someone threw a tomato. It splattered on her white blazer, and her face twisted into a mask of rage. The town split like a fault line. Half saw Marcus as a hero, a man defending his truth against petty tyranny. The other half, Karen's loyalists, clung to her mantra of standards. They whispered about property values, about those people stirring trouble. Meetings at the community center turned into shouting matches. Fists flew at a barbecue when a Karen supporter called Marcus ungrateful. Aisha, only 10, stopped going to school after kids taunted her with, "Your dad's a troublemaker." Marcus wanted to fight back, but not with fists. He filed a lawsuit against the HOA, claiming discrimination. The case drew lawyers from D.C., activists from Atlanta, and a circus of media hungry for blood. Karen wasn't backing down. She rallied her allies, turning the HOA board into her personal army. They dug into Marcus's past, leaking stories about a bar fight from his 20s, painting him as violent. They called the flag divisive, a slap in the face to veterans. Never mind that Marcus was a veteran. Never mind that he'd bled for the same flag they claimed to protect. Karen's campaign grew uglier. Flyers appeared in mailboxes, accusing Marcus of destroying community harmony. Someone spray-painted "Go back to where you came from" on his driveway. Aisha found it first, her small hands trembling as she tried to scrub it away. Marcus's heart broke, but his resolve hardened. He hung a new flag, bigger this time, and stood guard on his porch, daring Karen to try again. The climax came at the annual Willow Creek 4th of July parade. The town square was a powder keg, protesters on one side, Karen's supporters on the other, police in riot gear forming a shaky line between them. Marcus, against his better judgment, agreed to speak. He limped to the podium, Aisha clutching his hand, and faced a sea of faces, some cheering, some sneering. "This flag," he said, holding up the BLM banner, "is my story, my brother's story, my daughter's future. You don't get to tell me it doesn't belong." The crowd roared, some with pride, others with fury. Karen, standing with her posse, shouted, "You're tearing us apart." A bottle flew, then another. Chaos erupted. Police batons swung, tear gas hissed, and Aisha's screams cut through the noise as Marcus shielded her. The fallout was swift. The national outcry drowned out Karen's excuses. Celebrities tweeted support for Marcus. Politicians called for HOA reform. The lawsuit gained traction, with evidence piling up, emails from Karen using racial slurs, HOA minutes showing targeted enforcement against minority homeowners. Willow Creek became a symbol of America's divides: race, power, privilege, all laid bare. Marcus's flag flew again, now under court protection, but the victory felt hollow. His daughter was traumatized. His neighbors were enemies. And Karen? She moved, selling her house to escape the death threats. But not before one final act. A public apology, tearful and rehearsed, that fooled no one. She claimed she'd learned, but her eyes said otherwise. The story didn't end neatly. Marcus won his case, and the HOA was forced to rewrite its rules. But the scars remained. Aisha had nightmares. Marcus drank more than he admitted. Willow Creek stayed divided, with for sale signs sprouting like weeds. The flag still waved, but it felt heavier now, burdened by a fight Marcus never wanted. He'd fought for his country, then his home, only to find both could betray him. The nation watched, debated, and moved on, but for Marcus the war was personal. It always would be. What's right in a fight like this, rules or truth? Share your thoughts on where justice lies when a community turns on itself.